Hey there movie fans, I'm John Andersen, and in continuing my series on the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, leading up to the release of Dead Man Tell No Tales this May, we already took a look at the first film, Curse of the Black Pearl, and the second, Dead Man's Chest, which if you haven't seen those videos yet, be sure to click the card above, and it'll link you to the playlist. Now, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the third film in the Pirates franchise. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is definitely the most bodacious of all the Pirates films, just clocking in under 3 hours, and dives even further into the realm of fantasy, concluding this elongated tale. At World's End begins with Cutler Beckett attempting to wipe out all the sea's pirates. Now the Brethren Court must unite to take down the East Indian Trading Company once and for all, which includes bringing back Captain Jack Sparrow from the depths of Davy Jones' locker. This film has a number of great and memorable scenes, ranging from the opening sequence to Will and Elizabeth's marriage during the Maelstrom sequence, but I don't think all these scenes connect as well as the film thinks they do. Oftentimes it feels like the film is making up the plot as they go, either not explaining enough or explaining too much. The first half hour of this film circles around our crew attempting to rescue Captain Jack from Davy Jones' locker, which sounds ridiculous, especially when compared to the first film. But as I said in my last review, I think the second film was able to set up the more fantastical tone and makes this plot line a little more tangible. It is here we're introduced to young fat Chow Sao Fang, a character who feels first and foremost like a ploy to expand the Pirates franchise to a more Eastern audience, as his character isn't fully fleshed out, making his actions feel sudden and random. An ideal case of the film thinking it is smarter than it really is. Once in the locker, we see how far gone Jack Sparrow truly is, with the great scene of the multiple Jacks on the Pearl. And as the film progresses, we constantly see Jack arguing with himself, which is fun, except when they introduce the Flying Dutchman Jack, whose jokes never really landed and just felt like a step too far. We also see the first signs of struggle within Will and Elizabeth's relationship, with both characters struggling to deal with either the choices they've made or the choices they will eventually have to make, adding a lot of depth to their relationship. However, midway through the film, they are separated, and the struggle seemingly resolves itself after they are reunited. Barbossa is a welcome return to the film, as he was missed from the previous film, and adds a lighter Goku-Vegeta rivalry between himself and Jack, adding a lot of fun with his general pirate-isms.
Trim that sail! Slack windward brace and
Slack windward brace and sheet!
Hold the pennant line!
Hold the pennant line!
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Captain gives orders on the ship.
The captain of the ship is giving orders.
Davy Jones takes a back seat in this film, which I thought was a wise choice, as Beckett's motivation is much clearer than Davy Jones, and works better as the muscle to Beckett's army, despite the fact that he abruptly turns on them. Which leads me to the oddest element this film has to offer, which is Calypso, who is a god bound in human form, an ex-lover of Davy Jones, is confused to be Elizabeth for some reason, and is released in the most over-the-top fashion, which overall just felt overly complicated. And though I would like to cut this character completely, she's essential for us buying into the saving of Jack, giving a tide for Davy Jones to fight throughout the film, and is the catalyst for the very entertaining Maelstrom sequence. The Brethren Court also feels a little unnecessary, considering how little of an impact they play in the final battle, but the Keith Richards cameo was really cool and offers a few fun moments.
This is madness.
This is politics.
Finally, let's touch on the finale. Beckett's defeat is a beautifully directed sequence, but back when I first saw the film, I always felt that Will and Elizabeth were cheated out of their happy ending, as it's very contrived that Jack should have just stabbed the heart when he first got his hands on it, but that would have been less dramatic. But the ending has grown on me, as it brings a nice finality to Will's story, as he was able to save both his father and Elizabeth, but at a high cost. In short, this film clearly has a lot of issues, but for whatever reason, I still have a lot of fun with this movie. Yes, it's not as focused as the first, and a lot of elements don't exactly add up, but I believe it really relishes in the swashbuckling epic adventure and is easily more enjoyable than the second film. And that's why for me, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End is a really good movie. So that concludes my series on the Pirates of... They made a fourth film? Well, I don't think anybody... They made $1 billion? Alright, well, join me next month when we look at Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. And also be sure to click right here to see my review from last weekend on Kong Skull Island, and click over here to see my latest series reviews on Aliens and Memento. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my social media links down in the description below. Until next time, don't forget to watch the movies.